Alright, YouTubers, this is a video response to Cat's Cradle commentary on fruits and whether or not they can be stored. Well, they can be. I'm in complete agreement with Cat's Cradle on that matter. However, low acid fruits probably need to be stored indoors in an air-conditioned environment rather than someplace where it gets really hot like my garage. Because in my garage, we have had some spoilage due to the heat factor. And because of the heat, I have some bulging and ruptured cans, which I'm going to unveil for you. And it looks like, if you look at the jars or at the cans, you can kind of see where the lid is popping up a little bit and it's starting to bulge just a touch. Some of my cans, instead of them going all the way down like they should, they're starting to pop up. I don't know if you can tell with the camera, but this one's a might bit more noticeable. And it's starting to bulge both on the top and on the bottom. You can kind of see where it's popping out a little bit there. Both on the top and the bottom where it's kind of bulging up instead of... Now, I don't know. You can see clearly the expiration date on there. 2012. So they won't expire until November 1st, 2012. But I think I'm probably going to have to get rid of some of these prior to that, simply because some of them have spoiled. Okay, my box is open now. Got it sliced open with my pocket knife, and you can see there's some leakage here on this can. I'm going to set that one to the side, and you can see where it's kind of drained down in. Oh, that one looks like it's dented and perhaps punctured. Can't really, but that one does not look good either. That one's bulging pretty badly. I don't know if that one's okay or not. I guess I'll ask a few people's opinions on these, because I'm not really sure about them. I'm going to be moving them in the house, though, for sure. And I'm kind of setting the rather decent looking undamaged ones off to the side. Maybe I can move them inside. But you can see the mess that results. I don't know if this is the botulism stuff they were talking about, or if it's just pure unadulterated mold. But you can see it's a bit of a mess, and it's kind of leaked down onto the cans below. Hopefully it's not a total loss, but there is a bit of mold and ick on some of the cans. I'll have to clean them off really good. Maybe I can get myself another box to put them in. That's not all. I don't want to take this moldy one in the house. But I'll check with Dad and see if he thinks those cans are bulging too bad or if they're okay. Because they all seem to be poking out a smidge. Well, see, that one looks like it's a little bit lower down than, say, this one. But I don't know if that's normal or not. It's kind of hard to tell. How bulgy is bulgy? I don't know. That one's kind of cruddy looking too. I don't know if that's just leakage from the can that was on top of it, or if that's from this can. I'll have to clean it up and see. In this other case, you can see there was some leakage in here too. this one looks kind of icky. I don't know if the label is just messed up or if it's actually the contents are seeping. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm pushing down on it though, and it's not popping up. So I think it's held its seal. I think the rest of this box is okay. It was just one of the topmost cans that had gotten messed up. So anyways, these are my mandarin oranges. I'm going to ask Dad to have a look at the case, I guess. My husband, kind of get an idea from them. But you see how the cans are kind of sliding around? It's because they're bulging ever so slightly on the top and on the bottom, so they're not even setting on each other, nesting in each other right. So, I don't know. This might be a total loss of mandarin oranges. I'm headed back to my food stock-up place, the food bank, so I may just toss all these and get new. Even though I know Cat's Cradle has said don't toss all your fruits. In this case, I might rather be safe than sorry. I'm not sure. In the future, though, I do know to keep my mandarin oranges in a temperature-controlled location, because you don't want this to happen to them. And you don't want to be eating that kind of stuff like that. Ugh. Okay? So when you see this type of spotting on the sides of your cases and cartons, you know you have a problem. That was my first indication that, hey, wait, something's wrong. And perhaps it's because they were in light syrup rather than heavy syrup, or I don't know, maybe it's because they were mandarins. I haven't had any trouble with any of my other fruits. I've got pumpkin pie mix, I've got dark cherries, I've got cranberries, jellies, jams, apples, tomato sauce. I know it's more acidic, but I haven't had any trouble with any of these things being stored out here where it gets 100 degrees in the summertime. None of this stuff has been problematic for me. The only thing that I have had any trouble with is these mandarin oranges. So if anybody has any advice for me other than store them in an air-conditioned place, which I don't have a lot of space in the house because I have 4 kids. There's 6 of us living in a 3-bedroom house. So the place where I have to put most of my food storage is out here in the garage, but apparently I need to rethink that a little bit because I can't air condition this garage. It's not insulated or anything like that. But everything else seems to be doing okay except for these mandarin oranges, which we've had a little bit of problem with. But if you guys have any advice as to how I could better store them. Oh, one other thing. I have had some problems with meal bugs getting in my grits and in my rice out here. And I saw somebody on Doomsday Preppers that was storing theirs in 2-liter jugs, and I thought, well, maybe that'll work. It's just so much hassle for me to get my rice and stuff like that into a 5-gallon bucket. I don't know if I can make room for that inside the house. I do have some 5-gallon buckets, but we'll just have to see if I can come up with a better solution for storing my rice and my oatmeal and flour and stuff like that, because I'm having a terrible time with meal bugs out here. Maybe I can come up with some kind of way to store the stuff out here where there's going to be heat and humidity, and yet it won't be damaged. So maybe I need to think about some kind of plastic storage. But anyways, there's my mandarin oranges, and if you have some suggestions for how I can best store my grains other than the 5-gallon bucket with the Mylar bags, because that's just way too much hassle for me, because I need to get into it more often than that. I'm not looking to store it necessarily long term, just store it for months, so that, because by that time my family usually turns it over and we use it. But at any rate, if you guys can think of something easy to get a hold of, cheap and affordable to get a hold of, that I can store it in, that the meal bugs won't get into it, just message me and let me know. I'd appreciate it. This is A Crosby 74 signing off.